I welcome you all with love. It's really nice to be here in Brazil. We're on the 6th day of a fast. And one of the things that I think is important is how do we work to create longevity in our lives, well-being, increased energy, and also not degenerate into chronic disease. Fasting is one very good way to do that. But I'm not going to talk about fasting today as much as I want to look at our physical body and how it can increase its energy. And one of the main ways is to build our mitochondria. The average brain cell has about 3,000 mitochondria. Somewhere with the heart cells, maybe 2,000. Data isn't totally clear. And with age, the mitochondria go down. So a 5-year-old is going to have pretty much 100% really good mitochondria. A little research suggesting that a 90-year-old has maybe 5% really active mitochondria. So obviously it's a big deal. Now, what are mitochondria? They're the energy factories in our cells. They make it happen. And if they're decreasing with age or we're doing things that hurt them, hurt their function, that's against what we want, obviously. So we want to kind of take a look at, say, okay, these are critical for our life force on the physical plane. They protect us against chronic disease. So what can we do to support our mitochondria? Pretty important thing. So first thing is we want to eat food that is high in electrons. And that brings us really to live food, vegetables, fruits. They're going to give you the most electrons. So those electrons have to get transferred to the mitochondria so that they can do their job of making ATP, which is the biological energy, biochemical energy that it produces for our body to run. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Now, a consideration is what also blocks the mitochondria, okay? Function. So fluoride, which we don't want in our water, and why you should have water filters, is one of those main things. And it actually blocks the flow of electrical energy into the mitochondria. Along with that is another halogen called bromide, which is really a poison, but it's used in a lot of swimming pools, and they started putting it in bread. It's another no-go. A third is all the variations of EMFs. And what I'm talking about is our smartphones and smart meters and 5G. So all these things disrupt and destroy the mitochondria. Okay, so that's the disruption. Now what helps build it? One of those things is breathing. So when we breathe, do breathing exercises each day, which is what I do 6 days a week, we're increasing the oxygen. It actually helps the flow of electrons to the mitochondria. So that's one really important thing to do. So we've talked about live food, and we're talking about avoiding certain toxins, but we're now also talking about breathing. So these are very basic things. They're not that hard for people to do. They're more lifestyle habits. Now, one of the other really important things in this story is a new supplement that people have found. It's called PQQ. So PQQ supports, first of all, the rebuilding of mitochondria. I'm going to also mention ribose also supports the rebuilding, and illuminine, which is an atomized ion that's scalar wave active, but in general, iodine supports the rebuilding of the mitochondria, particularly in the brain cells. I see a lot of people in my clinical practice who are very depleted in the mitochondria, and these are things that I use to help build it up, and that's important. So one of the important things, most important, is the PQQ of all the supplements. Okay, so what are we talking about? Well, first, as I say, it builds mitochondria. Second, it helps the flow of electrons from our food to the mitochondria. Another thing, just a side thing, is that a healthy microbiome is also very helpful in extracting the electron energy from the food and getting to the microbiome. So having a healthy microbiome is also a really good idea. So the PQQ also protects and keeps an enzyme in balance, a gene in balance, that if it gets out of balance, it could accelerate Parkinson's disease. We've also seen the PQQ in middle-aged people increases cognitive function. And it also helps repair and protect the brain from stroke and heart disease. We also know it helps protect you from diabetes, but in specific, repair from stroke and heart disease, which are pretty important things. Protects you against heart attack. The other thing about it is it too comes mostly is found in fruits and vegetables. Now, to be honest, it's really good to get organic fruits and vegetables. It will have more PQQ than in any of the other foods. But I actually have a supplement trying to figure this out, because you can't really get enough PQQ in our toxic world. So I have a supplement that combines CoQ10 and PQQ that I find really effective for people building their mitochondria, increasing their energy, because it increases energy flow, electron flow into the cells, into the mitochondria. So building the mitochondria and protecting the mitochondria is the name of the game. If you want to have good energy, you want to protect against chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes and cancer, building your mitochondria is the way to go. And also Alzheimer's. So that's really my emphasis. It's focus on the best things we can do to treat mitochondria and help them grow. I told you 3 main nutrients: the illuminine, it's pretty well established, the PQQ that I mentioned, D-ribose are your bigger players in this story. So, may everyone be blessed. At least we know what we're trying to do to gain energy, mental energy, heart energy, overall physical energy. And we can do our fruits and vegetables, we can do the raw food, high electron, but in our world, a little boost helps. So, may you be blessed that you really can rebuild your mitochondria and come back into strength, vitality, and joy in your life, and actually begin at any age to lead a very healthy, energetic life. Blessings to everyone. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Etakyo Hasan. Amen.